Hey everyone, and welcome to YarnGasm. I'm Kristen, and this is episode 91. Take 2, because I just realized I have been talking to myself for the past 20 minutes, and I did not hit record. Always a great feeling when that happens, right? So, here we are. It is, as usual, Sunday evening, November 10th, 2013, and no episode last week because while I did record an episode, I just wasn't feeling it. It didn't turn out the way I liked it, and I just said I'll hold out till next week and give you guys a better show. So, that said, if you are a new viewer, welcome to the show. I hope you enjoy it. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And couple housekeeping notes before I get on to what's off the needles, because I do have stuff off the needles. If you follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Ravelry, Facebook, you are well aware that Blip TV was going to give me the boot. I got an email from them saying that my show did not meet their standards, and they, without, I don't know, they just unceremoniously said, we're just canceling your show on Blip because we have standards now. And I'm just kind of like, what kind of I was reading through their guidelines, and I'm like, well, my show does meet your standards. It's consistent. It has decent, in my opinion, decent audio and video, and it has a purpose. I have viewers, subscribers, clearly. I'm not talking to myself, right? So I sent them a note through their customer service email, kindly asking them to reevaluate the show. And then, this is maybe 3 weeks ago. In the meantime, I scrambled to find a new host. I went through Libsyn and, VideoPress, YouTube, and so far YouTube was working out, but the kicker was with that, it does not syndicate to iTunes. And I know many of you enjoy watching the podcast through iTunes, and YouTube didn't do that. So I set out to find an alternative. So I went through Libsyn and VideoPress, but long story short, without realizing it, those hosts wanted too much money and wouldn't offer enough gigabyte storage for my episodes. I would only be able to put out maybe like 1 or 2 a month. Not gonna happen. I wouldn't do that to you guys. So I said, forget it. And I was about to, last week, just cut all ties and be like, I'm just sticking with YouTube. Sorry, no iTunes. But by way of miracle, I have no idea. I checked my my email, which I check. I have a separate knitting and personal email that I keep, and I put all my knitting, whatever. Anyway, I checked my my knitting email, which is, as you know, Voolenvine @gmail.com. So hey, say hey. And I actually got an email from a response from Blip saying that we're sorry. Whoa. We took another look at your podcast, and we made a hasty decision, and we decided to keep your show on. I was beside myself. I was elated. I literally jumped up and down for joy because this makes my life so much easier. I mean, that's pretty much why us podcasters stick to Blip, because it makes life easy. It syndicates it for you. You can upload as long of an episode as you want or as short as an episode as you want, and it doesn't matter. And it's great for that. So I was very much excited, but at the same time I was kind of miffed because I went through this whole entire hoopla to trying to find another host. But I'm back on Blip though, so nothing is changing. Everything's fine, and I just want to apologize for sending you guys on a wild goose chase. But nothing's changing. But the only good to come out of this, I think, aside from being able to stay on Blip, is the fact that you now get to watch the show on YouTube. So yeah, you get to watch my show on YouTube, iTunes, and on my blog. So yeah, big sigh of relief. So that's one thing. The next thing is audio. If you watch the last 2 episodes, the audio hasn't been so great. This week I'm working with my headset because my fancy schmancy microphone decided to die on me, which wasn't fun. So I put in an order last week for a new microphone. I went I got a nice, another fancy condenser microphone, little step up from the last one, so audio should be better. And I got a tripod for it, or a mic stand. So I'm really looking forward to that. So expect an improvement in the near future. So the next time I record, I will have better audio for you. And yeah, so that takes care of housekeeping notes. I'm sorry if that was rambling, but I'm basically repeating what I said 20-30 minutes ago. So on to what's off the needles. So as you know, I've been working on this top secret collaborative project with Lisa from Roman Hills. She dyes lovely hand-dyed yarn. I will, of course, post a link to her Etsy shop in the show notes. But she was offered a book deal through Cooperative Press, which is a lovely independent knitting book publisher. You've probably heard of them before if you are on Ravelry or what have you. But she approached, the theme of the book basically is made in Brooklyn. So she contacted a bunch of Brooklynites, such as myself, to contribute patterns. And I was very much excited to design a couple patterns for that. So I showed you this last time, but this is the cowl that I completed. It's blocked. I don't know if last time I showed it to you blocked, but this is what it looks like blocked. So lovely, lovely texture here. Again, the segment is in black and white because I'm not allowed to discuss colorway. And I know you're probably sick of the black and white, but this is the last time, I promise, because after this week, I'm sending these off to Lisa along with some patterns that I still have to complete, and it's going to be out of my hands. So I wanted to show it to you one last time, blocked. And I think, is that? No. Okay. But yeah, here is the 3-needle bind off that I did. Can't really see it, thankfully, but yeah, I'm so relieved this turned out well because while I was knitting it, I had a huge snafu. If you're not aware of that snafu, watch a couple episodes back. You'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so this is done, and I really don't want to give it away because the color is lovely, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited about it. And next up that I finished, I showed you the mitten last time finished, but these are my mittens that I designed. They are done. Very, very excited. As you can see, it is a Pico cuff, and main color, contrasting color 1, fades into contrasting color 2. And because I was strapped for time, these are not identical because I was playing around with different needles, and long story short, because I was strapped for time, I just went with it. Hopefully when they are photographed, you will not be able to tell, fingers crossed. But yeah, I'm very excited about these. Yay! These, let me see, Kitchener, basically like, you know, when you decrease for a sock, that's the tip. Very simple, that's what I was going for. Simple, easy, but elegant. Yay! So these are my mittens, guys. I'm very happy about them. And I really don't want to give these away either, but I may have to knit a separate pair for myself. Maybe in a different color. I don't know. But that's clearly all I've been working on. So that's all I have off the needles at the moment. So on to the next. What's on the needles? Still on the needles. If you saw the episode where I showed you my stash booty from Rhinebeck, I am still working on Dennis's hat. And this is it. This is the Ringo pattern by Drops Design, which has a lovely database of all free patterns. And this is a very simple, basic hat for Dennis. And, you know, ribbing, 2x2 ribbing, and then the rest is just going to be stockinette because that's what he wants. And again, the pattern is Ringo, which is perfectly fitting because Dennis is a drummer, and Ringo was the drummer of the Beatles. So I thought, perfect. So, and the yarn, by the way, is a yarn he picked out at Rhinebeck by Miss Babs in her DK Northumbria. If I can find the tag again. I had it the first time around when I recorded the show. Now I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Okay. So yeah, this is her Babette base in her Dreamweaver colorway. And yeah, Northumbria DK hand painted 4-ply BFL yarn, which retails at $22. So yeah, just lovely, lovely shades of denim, variegated, and browns. And if you can look very closely, you can see a couple shocks of red. I don't know, very, very subtle, but I love it. I love just like little hints of color. It's right there. There you go, like right there, coppery, like little red blips, which is great. So yeah, I should be done with this by now, but I've been kind of on a selfish knitting kick lately. It's like, I'll get to it in a second, but I mean, here's the cake. I'm almost done with it. There's not that much yardage in here. It's 240 yards. So, I mean, you can get like a pair of mittens or a hat out of it, so it's perfect. And the last time I knit with DK was when I knit my, what was it, Audrey and Unst cardigan. That was the last DK. I really don't knit with DK. It's either worsted or fingering. So it's a nice change. I'm very excited with it. And it's so squishy and bouncy and soft. I was showing it to him and he's smitten with it. So yeah, very exciting. That's what I'm working on. Hopefully I will have this finished to show you next time. So, along with better audio, another finished object. Also on the needles, let me see if there's anything else I want to show you first. No. Is this. Does this look familiar? Yeah, I mean, this is the Julie Spins yarn that I purchased from Etsy a couple months ago, I believe. It's been calling out to me, and I finally have the time to knit with it. And I was on the prowl, because as you can see, it's very variegated. Not like obscenely variegated, but I mean, it's, you know, lots of different variables in color. So lots of teals, lots of aquamarines and cyans, and then like coppery browns, just in and out. Just very pretty. And this is what happens when you have to record over again. You have everything set, and then it's like, oh wait, no, I gotta record again. And it's like, what did I do with everything that I had in front of me? I can't find it, but Julie Spins. Post a link in the show notes. Merino cashmere nylon. MCN, which I don't know, I must have been super tired, but you'd think I would be able to put MCN together looking at the fiber content. And thank you to all of you who contacted me letting me know what that MCN meant. I think I was just super tired that week that I just didn't think to put it 2 and 2 together, 3 and 3 together. But yes, I should know what MCN stands for. But yes, this is what MCN is, and it's lovely, it's gorgeous, and it's knitting up so soft. You can actually feel the cashmere in here. And I was looking for a pattern. You're probably wondering what pattern this is, and I'm going to get to that in a second. But this is, I was looking for a pattern that was simple, that would be able to show off the colors. And I wanted to knit a shawl too, but nothing, because, you know, many shawls are very lace heavy or cable heavy. And I just wanted something simple, but not too simple. Something with a little bit of detail. And this is actually the Crow's Nest shawl by Judy Marples, which is featured in another cooperative press book called Cascadia. It's all stockinette until the very end, so I've got my work cut out for me, but I'm enjoying the way it's knitting up very much in the meantime. So I started this morning, so I've got a little bit ways to go. But yeah, selfish knitting. Very, very excited about that. But yeah, so yay. If you're not familiar, what was I going to say? Oh, and yeah, I love Judy Marples. She's Spinny Knitter on Ravelry and Twitter, I believe. So she has a lot of great patterns. I knit her Harmony shawl a while back. I think it was like 2 summers ago maybe, using Jinx yarn on the rock, Margarita on the Rocks colorway. It turned out lovely. I think I have it here somewhere. It's in the Yarn Fortress, but yeah, I'll show it to you next week. Maybe I'll wear it. But yeah, it turned out so beautiful, and she has like the greatest patterns. So definitely check her out. What else? Oh, And as you know, I've been, playing around with dyeing yarn. Okay. I've been playing around with acid dyes recently. Thanks again to Laura from the Dyer's Notebook. If you haven't watched the show, check it out. Especially if you're into dyeing your own yarns or interested in the process. But yeah, I've been playing around with that and having a lot of fun with it. And I showed the skein in the last episode that I recorded last weekend, but I didn't publish. So I couldn't wait. So I wound it into a cake and I cast on a sock. So this is what the cake looks like. Lots of saturated reds, hot pinks, and muted mauves. So a lot of stuff out of my comfort zone and some stuff in my comfort zone. So for some reason I fell in love with it and I couldn't wait to cast it on. So I cast on a sock and this is how it's knitting up. Very excited. Just a plain vanilla sock. And if you can see, yeah, I made the bright red very dominant, so it's striping nicely. A little bit of pooling, but I like it. And here you can see like a brown chestnut mauve happening. It's really pretty. Yeah, I ordered a couple more colorways through Knit Picks, the Jacquard acid dyes. I think he ordered chestnut, which I'm really loving. I'll show you a couple of other skeins in a second. That I've been dyeing with, but yeah, so I actually knit on this last night. Dennis and I went, when we got home, we had some dinner with friends, and then we came home, and we watched Sharknado on Netflix. Oh yes, my friends, Sharknado, that's where it's at. If you love campy, stupid, funny movies, you can now stream Sharknado. It was a sci-fi original, by the way. Horrible CGI. Horrible. Wonderfully horrible acting. If you are looking for such a movie, I highly recommend you check out Sharknado. You can now stream it via Netflix if you have an instant watch account. Yeah. To give you an idea of the actors participating in this film, if you are familiar with 90210, that wonderful teenage soap opera that occurred in the 90s. The blonde guy, I can't remember his name. It's been so long. Yeah. He is the main actor in it, and he has not aged amazingly. But anyway, he's in it. Tara Reid plays his ex-wife. They have 2 children who look about the same age as them. And there's a tornado with sharks. Sharks, yes, yeah, and I could not stop laughing. So I highly recommend you give it a watch because it's great. Sharknado. But yeah, this is my project while I was knitting that. So, I'm sorry, I'm still laughing thinking about it, but anyway, yeah. So that's what's on the needles this week, guys. On to what I'm spinning because I have spinning this week. Okay, so I've been drop spindling again. I've missed it dearly, and I was watching Kim on the Craft Stash, her video podcast, and she had her drop spindle, and I was like, I really miss it. And I found a fibery tribble. I know I'm name dropping a lot this week, guys, but I found a fibery tribble from Gourmet Stash that I had languishing in said stash, and I decided to spin with it because it's a little bump. If you know what fiber triples are, they're just little bumps, colorful bumps of fiber. They're beautiful. And I had one, and I decided to give it a spin. So this week, this is what's happening on my trindle. So because I wish I had a tribble to show you, but I don't. But they come out in little balls, and you can kind of like spread each strip of fiber apart, and they're different colors. So I spun one color. This is the second strip of color that I'm spinning, if I can describe it that way. Probably shouldn't. That's not the correct term, but anyway. It's a little felted here, but anyway. This is where it's at on the second strip, and then I actually finished spinning. I'm going to show it to you on a toilet paper roll, because this is how you you have to create a kind of like a ghetto Lazy Kate. So this is my, if you have watched a couple of episodes before, this is my Ghetto Lazy Kate, which I've been using a lot when I drop spindle. So, and you stick a knitting needle in here sorry, I have my projects in here. Wow. Yeah, I'm excellent. And I have some cables too. I'm so organized. Anyway, but yeah, you basically stick a knitting needle, you create 2 holes and you stick it in here. Clearly, this is how you do it. You take the toilet paper roll and you go like that, and then you just kind of stick it in your handmade Lazy Kate, and you wind it with your ball winder. Oh my gosh, I match my Lazy Kate. Look at that. I'm so matchy-matchy with my Lazy Kate. That is awesome. Wow. What are the chances? I'm loopy this week, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, so this is what I'll just show it to you right now so you get a close-up. But anyway, I'm not going to Navajo ply this. Once I'm done spinning the other color, I'm just going to create like a lovely twist. But it's lots of oranges, pinks, purples. Gourmet Stash creates like all these gorgeous colorways. So just imagine what that is going to look like twisted up together. It's going to be lovely. Come on. Why isn't this focusing? There we go. So that is just going to be lovely. I'm not sure what I'm going to knit with it. This was just fun spinning for me. I just wanted to, it's like you need that fix for spinning, and that's what this was about. So I'm just going to stick that there and put that there in a second. So yeah, I actually put in another order with Gourmet Stash. She dyed up some Game of Thrones, a Game of Thrones colorway, Jon Snow, and I am excited about that. I saw it on Instagram. She was dyeing it up in her crock pot, and I was like, it's a cart, purchase now, it's done. So I'm excited about that. Hi, Kate. So yeah, anyway, what else? So that's what I've been spinning. Let's see what else. I'm playing with fiber. I know there's something else I wanted to talk to you guys about. I have spinning on Tallulah, my Lendrum, but she's over there and it's too heavy and I should have had it over here. But anyway, I'll show that to you next time when I have more spinning done on it, because I haven't really progressed on it. I know I really should spend some quality time with Tallulah, but there hasn't been enough time. So next week, Tallulah, I'm sorry. But yeah, on to the next segment. I tried my hand at resistance dyeing, which is when you have just imagine like a bare skein of yarn, you tie a knot in it, put it in a pot of not boiling water, but very hot water with dye already in it. And when you have that knot in the yarn and you submerge it into the dye pot, the color takes to all the parts that are exposed, but does not dye the parts that are tied up in the knot. And then once that's dyed, once all the dye is exhausted out of the water, you take it out, and then you put more dye of a different color inside the pot, and then you tie a knot in a different area of the yarn, and you submerge it again, and you just keep repeating the process until you're happy with the colorway. So I tried that, and this is what happened, and I'm so excited about it. Again, like it has that chestnut color that I'm obsessed with, like purples, bright yellows. Again, this is reskeined, so all the colors are a little bit more jumbled than they were when they came out of the dye pot. And I just love the way it turned out. So yeah, I mean, that's what I've pretty much been working on. And this weekend I did not have time to dye anymore. I was itching to do it. I kind of want to like start dyeing every weekend just to get a better feel for it. And again, I have to get better at color theory. I'm reading up on it, and it's really fun. It's a fun process, and I highly recommend, if you have an itch to do it, just give it a try. You will have so much fun. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. But yeah, on to the next segment. I am purloining a segment from Kim's Craft Stash podcast. She has a Nailed It segment where she talks about nails. Normally, I don't do nails so much. I usually stick to red, but recently I had to review some nail polish for work. Tough life, right? I had to do some nail art, and I kind of fell down a little bit of a rabbit hole browsing Pinterest, and I saw this one manicure. If you've been ogling my nails the whole episode, I don't know, but on Pinterest I saw this type of deal happening on one of the pins, and it's basically like teal nail polish with confetti ombre glitter happening, and I had to replicate it. And if you're curious, again, I'll post a link to it in the show notes. What nail polish I used Julep, which they kindly sent me to review for work. And this is in their Diana colorway, which again is lovely, lovely. And then to get the confetti effect, I just used some Wet n Wild nail polish that I had in my collection, call it. And it's this really fun confetti nail polish. It's, perfect for like New Year's or Christmas, I think, but it's their Party of 5 glitters, and you can get this for like 99 cents. This one is a little bit more pricey. I'm not a huge fan of Julep, only because some of their colorways are, I'm referring to nail polish as colorways. How's that? That's great, I think. But yeah, a bottle of this is like $14. You can get it at like Sephora and stuff. So some of the grip that I have about Julep is like some of their colors are a bit more goopier and thicker than others. I mean, I guess the good part about that is like you don't have to use 2 coats, which I think is fine. It is an upside, but I'm a 2-coater polisher, so that kind of gets to me a little bit. Maybe kind of my OCD side sticks out, but yeah, I like this color, and I have a couple of other ones. Maybe I'll just start doing nail polish segments. I don't know. We'll see. If I feel so inclined, maybe I'll just start sharing what's on my nails. But yeah, so if you're curious, that's what's happening on my nails this week, and it just makes me happy. I don't know, like, aside from my normal like red nail polish, I don't know. Don't mind my cuticles; they're a little gross, but yeah, I'm very excited about these. So they look like cake nails. Yay. So yeah, other than that, Om This is an Om segment too. Nom. I purchased an Ebelskieber maker. If you are not familiar with what Ebelskiebers are, they're basically like Danish pancake pops. So imagine like a cake pop, but slightly bigger, but stuffed with magical goodness. It's basically pancake mix, and you pour them into like this pan of like semi-hollowed out circles, and you can use 2 knives or chopsticks. Chopsticks are preferred, but you basically fold the pancake mix into each other until they turn into like perfect balls. But you can stuff them with like pretty much anything you want to. And I've been stuffing mine with peanut butter and jelly and ham and cheese, and smothering it with ranch dressing. So yeah, and Dennis has just been eating them consistently. I kind of have to put a cap on it because I'm having fun making them, but at the same time, he just doesn't know when to stop eating them. So I'm like, okay, maybe I just put a cap on it. But they are super fun to make. If you haven't tried any, I highly recommend you. If you like pancakes, you're gonna love Ebelskiebers. It's like a pancake ball stuffed with stuff. You can fill them with anything, really. So the other night, Dennis made a banana chocolate bourbon. He sprinkled a little bit of bourbon in there, and it was just out of this world. And yeah, so Ebelskiebers, that's where it's at this week as far as Om Nom is concerned. Right now, I'm cooking some curry beef stew in the crock pot. Nothing too exciting, but it's what we like, and I found a recipe on Pinterest, so I'll let you know how that turned out next week. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week, guys. That said, I hope everyone has a wonderful week ahead of you. And until next time, happy knitting. I'll see you next time. Bye.